Hello, G fans. Today I'm here to talk about a meme, and I just saw this meme like literally like 5 seconds ago, but I think it's one of the greatest Godzilla-related memes I've ever freaking seen. Yeah, it may be a strange topic, but it goes along with Godzilla 2016 and what it needs to be like and what it should be like, and also uh, it's funny in a lot of ways. It's funny in an ironic way. Also makes you cringe just a little bit when you think about it. But yeah, this was posted by the Gomaru Island Facebook page. So definitely check them out. They're a great page. Always posting great stuff. So let's take a look at the meme, shall we? So if you look at this meme, and of course giving all credit to the guys who created this, I'll even post a link in the description below, but at the top you see it clearly says remember Godzilla 2016 crew, and you see I'm not sure the guy on the left is, but on the right is Shinji Higuchi, who will be, of course, as you know by now, directing this movie. And below, as a compare and contrast of what the do's and don'ts of this movie should be, some of this I've covered, some of this I may have not covered in detail like I want to right now, but I'm just glad that people are noticing these things that for a while, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of fans like some of the quirky things from the Lame series that to me just did not fly and should not be done, especially in the modern era of Godzilla. And I'm glad that other fans out there who notice things like this. So for the first example, we have an image of 1954 Godzilla. Terrifying. And on the other side we have Ozaki from Godzilla Final Wars and the whole human fight scene. Yes, this is very freaking relevant. There should definitely be human characters. They should definitely be very interesting characters, but we don't need elaborate human action scenes. That was one of the greatest downfalls of Final Wars, which I've covered and will cover again in greater detail, because that was one of the most annoying fucking things about that movie. I didn't come here for this bullshit. I came here to see Godzilla. And between monster scenes, there needs to be dynamic human scenes, not bullshit, which was a lot of Final Wars. Not to anyone who likes, not just saying people who like Final Wars, I get it. I get why you like it. I really do. Just the thing is, for this movie, we need something that's gonna really bring appeal to a wider audience. I'm not saying that it needs to water it down to where it's just indistinguishable from American cinema. Just the thing is, this is just too much. And really, when you think about it, adding a lot of human action is doing way more than any other. It's hard to describe. That's the thing with Final Wars. It tried too much to appeal to a somewhat wider audience by having those human action scenes, but it didn't work because, well, if you know the history of Final Wars, you know why they didn't work. And you just really split the fans, and you really just, really did not attract any new audience members. Obviously, the Final Wars did not do well at the box office, so obviously people didn't receive it well. You split the fans on it, and the average moviegoers who only like Godzilla casually, of course, either laughed or just didn't care. Because even the human effects in the movie were, shoddy at best. So what can really be said about it? Nothing great. So yeah, it's good to have focus on humans, but to a right level. Moving on to the second one, another image from Final Wars. Not this, the whole fight scene at Mount Fuji with Godzilla between Rodan, Anguirus, and King Caesar. And then on the right, you have an image of GMK Godzilla, and you see the little kid. This production photo from GMK. I love this set photo. I've seen it years ago, but it's a great photo of a little kid terrified of Godzilla. This is important. I understand there was an era where Godzilla could be, somewhat funny and campy, and you could do stuff with that. That was good material, especially in the 60s and 70s. You could get away with it because they're older films. It was funny. They were trying something very different than what any other monster film was really doing at the time, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And of course, by the 70s, it was going way too far. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, unlike the Heisei series, which had none of this, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus dabbled in it slightly, but in a degree that didn't overdo it, and you could still appreciate the movie, which is why I like Megaguirus so much. However, Final Wars went back to the old days and went overboard with scenes like the soccer ball scene in Final Wars. I mean, what the hell? You take yourself seriously or don't. And Final Wars didn't really embrace that. They half-assed it like they did with a lot of things. This movie needs to be, I don't see Godzilla can only function as a bad guy, but it needs to be kind of like GMK. He needs to be a threat again, and at least for the moment, nothing but. He can be a symbol, yes, he needs to be a symbol, but the funny campiness needs to be at its minimum levels, which is the reason I like Godzilla 2014, unlike the 1998 movie, did not focus on comedy. It had little bits of comedy, but it was subtle. It was not overdrawn. The monsters, the comedy was never shown through the monsters, which is very important. And it really elevates the film to a higher level, and that's what this Japanese film needs to do. And last but not least, we have the image of the practical effects from the good old age of Akira Takarada, and then we have this, the shitty CGI from Godzilla 2000. Now, I know there was a time when Toho wanted to do more with Godzilla, but they still, of course, held back to a certain degree. So we had really good practical effects, then we had really crappy CGI, which sometimes works, sometimes does not. And Godzilla 2000, it really did not fucking work. Especially the scenes of CGI Godzilla were, just to be honest, awful. Other movies would do it a little bit better, like GMK. They did it pretty well. And other ones like Tokyo SOS and Godzilla never really used a CGI Godzilla, so they did it their own way. But I mean, I'm pretty confident about this. I covered this not too long ago, my video about the Attack on Titan comparison. I think the effects on this movie will be pretty good. I'm pretty sure they won't make this mistake again, because trying this 1999, that was like, some people might let it fly because, CGI was still, I wouldn't say, it was definitely already big in terms of Jurassic Park and other movies, but some people allowed crappy CGI. But in the modern age of cinema, where CGI is very relevant, if you're gonna use CGI, it has to be good. If it's shitty, people will eat you alive. And we can see that with Jurassic World. Jurassic World still did very good. However, some people did criticize its CGI usage very heavily, and some longtime fans say Jurassic World is the worst one yet because of it. So it's a good thing they want the balance of practical effects and CGI, because I think a lot of people, even the Western audiences, will appreciate that quite a bit. So this has been my quick dissection of this meme, and something different. I like doing this, but yeah, I think it's very relevant. Every fan should definitely be thinking about this, and Toho executives and the special effects makers and the story writers definitely all need to keep this stuff in mind, and I'm pretty sure they are. I'm very confident in them this time around. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get another Final Wars or another Godzilla 2000. Pretty sure we're going to get another GMK, a Return of Godzilla, something to that tier, that level. So, yeah. Fingers crossed. Let's hope, guys.